Welcome to the Equity.Guru Investor Roundtable. You folks sick and tired of talking about resources and minerals and gold and copper, are you? Well, that's too bad, because we're talking about it again. Today it's Rockridge Limited, Rockridge Resources Limited, based in Vancouver, British Columbia. Jonathan Weisblatt is their CEO, and Jordan Trimble's their president. And Chris Perry is going to tell us everything he knows about Rockridge and what he thinks about them.
Yeah, so this is a Canadian gold and copper play, a couple of projects that are interesting. The Trimble family are icons on the street. They've been doing deals through Pappy Bill for a long time. Lots of success stories, lots of respect out there. And Jordan's come out and debuted as a savvy operator on the mining side himself. Raised a bit of money, got some successes under his belt. One of his deals right now, he's the CEO of Sky Harbor Resources, which is a uranium play, and is racked up at $84 million market cap from a really big run over the last few months. What I like about Rockridge is that it's like Sky Harbor 6 months ago. If there's any sort of run on gold and copper, and I think there will be, especially copper, it is definitely a metal that electric vehicles will require a lot of, and there is a real emptiness in the supply chain right now and for quite some time to go ahead. So I think copper is going to have a bit of a moment, and when it does, Rockridge is going to go through some things. The Trimbles aren't the types that will just go out there, sit on a property and wait for someone to come and tap them on the shoulder. They do the work. And thus, because of that, and because they've managed to find some things over the years, they don't find it difficult to get the money required to do the work. Now, if you're investing in a microcap, a small cap Canadian mining explorer, you're really trusting the people at the top are, one, not going to take off at the first opportunity of making some quick profit, and two, have done it before and know where the bodies are buried, or the ore bodies specifically. And so that's, the Trimble clan, you're checking those two boxes off. If they trashed investors like a lot of small mining explorers tend to do, then they wouldn't have been around as long as they've been around. They've got decades at the top of the tree. And so when Jordan comes out and says, I've got a new deal, people take notice. They dig in their pockets and they produce dollar bills, y'all. So I'm not going to get into the technicals so much. I'll let TK get into that, or whoever wants to. But I think that, I've said plenty of times over the last week, gold, copper, silver, definitely sitting there in a little vacuum, just waiting for someone to pay attention to them. I think there are definitely supply chain issues on both gold and copper, and I think that this is the kind of deal that if you're looking for an opportunity to get in before it takes off, maybe Sky Harbor has already passed you by, but Rockridge is an $8 million deal. You're looking at Sky Harbor being 10 times that. Same crew, same methodology. They've shown what they can do. They've shown what they will do. And to me, put some rubles down and see what they can do for
them. As you just advertised, we'll go to some tech talk here with TK. Tech talk with TK. Ooh,
tech talk.
Sounds like a possible content branding situation for Dr. Indichenna, who's wearing those cool glasses.
Well, this one is a pretty easy prescription to write because it's mainly copper and gold. And year to date, you'll notice that copper is up 35% and gold is down 7%. And the company also hasn't made sales on book as of yet, but they're putting a lot of money into capital expenditures to try get the property claims up to code. So go through just some quick stats just to kind of show people what's behind this. And when we look at exploration companies, you want to look at the operating expenditures and the capital expenditures. For 2020, they spent close to $1 million on operating expenditures and close to $2 million on CapEx. And most of this was funded through raising cash from the public markets through stock issuing with warrants attached, etc. And after doing most of this, they have cash as of now of close to $1 million, property and plant of close to $4 million, and they have virtually no short-term liabilities, close to $300,000, which is probably some bank loans or some sort of accrued liability on their books. So you have a company that's property heavy, that's spending money into the exploration, and it has gold and copper, which are metals that are detrimental to a lot of what we do, especially EV, jewelry, and they count their gold as a safe haven asset as well. So they bank on that. And it's trading at between 6 to 7 million over the last year with a book value of close to 5 million. So the market right now is giving a premium to the earning potential of the company of about $1 million from their book value. And I think that's underappreciating the actual upside that the company can have if they start booking those sales with their exploration.
This is fantastic. We got Tech Talk with TK, and then we go to the chart attack man himself, Michel Ventura.
Yep. I mean, I was just showing some of our viewers here the year-to-date performance on a lot of assets here. You can see it's a lot of commodities, natural gas, gasoline, oats, crude oil, coffee, and there is copper at 16.91% year-to-date, and gold is down actually, as TK mentioned, 6.33%. I'm still bullish on both metals. And again, when those metals do perform, the juniors is where the small cap stocks are where the gains are going to be made. Looking at the chart of Rockridge, it's another one of those, I don't like to use that term always, but one of those bottom picker plays, I guess, just because it is very close to previous lows, right? Previous record lows at around 10 cents. So I think this is another one that can range around here and find some support, build some support here. And I don't want to show that, but again, with these juniors, right? Management, jurisdiction, and the cash position. So Chris did detail the management and the previous success they have had and are having right now with Sky Harbor. Jurisdiction-wise, we're looking at Saskatchewan and Ontario. Just want to double check. It is. Yes, Saskatchewan and Ontario. So good jurisdictions there. Ontario, there's a lot of gold mines there, and Saskatchewan actually is something we were talking about, I think, a week ago about underdeveloped exploration there as well. So that could be an exciting find, an exciting place, significant copper resource, and excellent discovery potential there. And then cash position, TK mentioned the 1.2 million there. So they do have some cash. I mean, likely a raise at some point because, you got to do some drilling. But then again, 10 cents, right? It's really a bottom pick here, a bottom picker play here. And if it does break that, it could even test lows of around 7 cents. But the risk reward looks really good. It's now just if you're bullish gold and copper, and if you believe the company can put out some catalysts. And just alluding to what Chris mentioned about if you missed out on Sky Harbor, hey, take a look at this. At a support zone, it is basing gold and copper play, same management. Looks good.
And you did mention commencing the exploration in Saskatchewan. It's a Knife Lake Copper Project, and it was they announced they were starting that just back on September 8th. So it's not been that long ago. Okay, we're taking my $5,000, Chris. And what are we doing with it?
Well, something I like about this company is when I look at their investor presentation, what I don't see is lots of pictures of huge trucks and guys in yellow vests. A lot of mining explorers like to juice things up by using some stock images or images of previous things they've done and to make it look bigger than it is. These guys, they'll show you there's a drill surrounded by a tarp and then miles and miles of snow. It's not that you're buying into something that is like when you get there, you'd be like, whoa, look at the size of this pit in the ground. This is just a group of guys sticking drills in a ground that looks like it has a significant amount of ore underneath it. Now, how much there is under there is the trick. For those that don't invest in resource plays very often, and that's a lot of people, especially the younger crowd, resources, they go through a lot of different phases, right? This phase is we're going to fly a helicopter over it and take some pictures and see if we can see anything shiny. And if we can, then we're going to throw a drill or two where we see the shiny stuff. And then if we like that, we're going to throw more and we're going to throw more and we're going to start getting permits. Saskatchewan likes two things, bar fights and mine permits. So, if they do decide this thing is something they want to go through with, real easy for these guys to make that happen. Get the First Nations guys happy, get the government happy, employ a bunch of people, and get in there, dig that rock up. They know how to do that because they've already got a uranium company that's in the process. So to me, where's the risk in this? The risk is more general in the gold and copper sector. Will someone suddenly find enough gold and copper to fill the global demand for the next 5 years? Unlikely. Will these guys run out of financing opportunities? Unlikely, even if they've got to dip into the other company that's doing really well. So I like this a lot. I like the people that are doing it. I'm betting on the jockey. The jockey has a good track record. I think the sector is going to get hotter. I think that, as Vishal said, the base has been formed. I would find it really unlucky if these guys, for any reason, dipped below where they are right now. I would think it'd be really difficult to justify a lower market cap than where they're at. So to me, that's just like time to sprinkle some fairy dust and let them do what they do.
How much cashish you throwing?
Well, if I'm honest about it, as much as this is a good entry point, it might also be a good entry point in a month. It is unlikely that something's going to happen that propels this guys back up to 18 cents in a morning. So I'd put, a grand of your 5 into it just to keep an eye on it, just so I know what's happening as it's happening. But I'd be looking for opportunities if it dropped down to 8 or 7 cents to start building a real position.
TK, my cash.
So what I really like about the management team here, or the operators, is they have experience in the financial markets. The CEO, I don't want to quote, I think it's almost 10, 15 years experience in the financial markets. So, and that's a big part of the sector. It's being able to have a conservative balance sheet because your sector is cyclical, and an ability to refinance when you need it, not when it's available. So it's when you need it and just not when it's available. Right now, it's available for everybody, basically. And I feel that experience and the geologists they have on board and advisors will allow the company to go, forward profitably. But I'm a cheap person, and I would want to buy it below.
Can't confirm.
I would love to pick up a half of the 5,000 if it drops below the 5 million point book value point. Yeah,
Half of the, all right. Michelle, are you going to wait for it to just dribble down a wee bit, or what are you going to do?
I think it's a good entry here. Do $1,000 here, and volume wise, I don't think there's much you have to worry about today. We had 165,000 shares. If I take a look at the historical data, we had one day here recently with only 5,000, but generally the volume's quite nice. It's quite liquid. You'll be able to get in and out. So I think, you can put it $1,000 here. And again, just me being the technical guy, I would really love to see that breakout above 11 cents, because I think that would attract a lot of technical traders, maybe algos as well. But if this does dip below or hit the bottom of support around 9 cents or even 8 cents, I think that's an add-on here. But like the play, like the base here, and I think it's a good small entry here and add on as things go.
All right. So I'm spending $1,000 right now, and I got $4,000 left over. I'm taking all you guys out to dinner.
That's awesome.
There are no guarantees on this information that we've provided you. This is for educational purposes. You folks out there, please do your own research, make your own decisions. We can guarantee absolutely nothing. And past performance does not guarantee future results either. For Chris Perry over yonder, and for the boys downstairs, that would be Vishal and TK. I'm Rob. See you in the next Equity Guru Investor Roundtable.